Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, a bunch of peers, and some others, but mostly peers, have written a letter to Dominic Grieve. He is the chair of the anti-Muslim hatred Islamophobia working group, and they are working their magic socks off trying to find a version which they can put into law to define what Islamophobia is, because God forbid you're allowed to criticise Islam. All the other religions are fair game, of course. You can say what you like about Christians, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, etc. But, oh no, you mustn't say anything bad about Islam. Now, I don't know why. Is it because Islam is kind of weird, kind of weak, kind of promotes the beating up and killing of gay people, treats women as second-class citizens, treats children as sex objects? I don't know, but you're not allowed to say that. Or at least you are at the moment, but soon you won't be. In fact, you won't be able to criticise it at all, or you're going to go to jail, probably for 3 years, given Keir Starmer's love of certain Islamic people, like Lord Ali, for example. Maybe that's the reason it's bringing in. He doesn't want anyone criticising his friend, his chum. But the peers are saying that this is having a chilling effect on freedom of speech in Britain, and it will damage community relations, and in fact will have the opposite effect of what they were trying to do, which is to say, oh, everyone get on and don't say bad things about Islam. What they're actually going to do is make things worse. People will criticise Islam, even regardless of the law, because you cannot have blasphemy against one religion and not others. But even though we should have blasphemy against none, blasphemy should not exist. Just because you've got an imaginary friend doesn't mean I have to believe in it, and it certainly doesn't mean I have to respect it. Islam is a religion, it's a choice, it's not a birthright. You know, you're not born into any religion. You're born male, you're born female, you're born black, you're born white, but religion is something you choose, or, more often, have abused into you. Because that's what happens. But what these peers are asking for is that the working group is broadened and widened to bring in more voices, especially those who are against this in principle. They want to postpone, and this is the important one, they want to postpone any conclusions from the group until after the huge investigation into Pakistani Muslim grooming, let's call them what they are, child rape gangs. Because otherwise they'll get this in, and then halfway through the thing say, "Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. Oh no, you can't say that. Oh, we can't. We're gonna have to stop the inquiry because it'll break the law. Because you're not allowed to criticise these people. Because yes, okay, they are out there fucking children, but they're Islamic people. They're Muslims. We're not allowed to say no. That's got to be allowed because we've made this the law. That's what they're doing." Let's face it, that's what this is all about, so that they can close down any inquiry that shows that Labour are a party full of paedophile child fuckers, because basically that's what they are. When they're not actually doing it themselves, they're certainly enabling and covering it up. So, that's why this law is going through so quickly. But the other thing is that they're trying to make this draft definition and keep it secret, so that nobody can criticise it. If you don't tell, then nobody knows. And they're demanding that this draft definition that they've come up with is published and made available so that everyone else can look at them and go, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with the Labour Party? And things like that. But they won't, because they're scared, because they know if they publish this, there'll be pitchforks and burning torches outside Parliament, and there'll be dangling politicians. Not a bad thing in my view, but that is only my view. Don't do it. But the letter made it clear that Islamophobia and Muslim hate are not one and the same thing. And also, whilst, and I'm going to put my tuppence halfpenny in there, you can't criticise the Muslim because that's a human being and human beings have rights. However, Islam is not a human being. Islam is an idea, and ideas don't have rights. Ideas are there to be challenged. That's why the Western world is advanced, because we challenge ideas, and that's why the Islamic world is backward and savage, because they are not allowed to question ideas. And so there is the difference between the cultures. In one, we can question. In the other, you're not allowed to, because some imaginary space pixie doesn't like it. So, yeah, there we go. They're trying to cover this up because, they just don't want the Muslim child rape gang thing to be publicised. They want to try and cover it all up again. That's it. Labour Party. Pervs, predators, and mostly peds. Thanks a lot. Bye.